Hi, I'm Beryl, and the theme for today's video is jackfruit. Before we get into that, I want to tell you about the artist today. Her name is Natalie Andrewson. I actually met her at Comic-Con in New York City, and I absolutely loved the whimsy and the kind of fantastical nature of all of her prints. I'm leaving a link to where you can follow her and check out her other work. Now, not all jackfruits are this big, but this was the smallest one I could find. Let's roll the tape to how I got this bad boy home. So I actually went to Hong Kong Market again because I saw that they had jackfruits last time, but I didn't realize that the only jackfruits would be these ginormous monsters. It cut me when I was trying to lift it up. The woman was laughing at me when we were trying to check it out. She said that it looked like I was going to be carrying a baby around, but I was adamant that I could fit it into my tiny backpack. Ultimately, it was a successful trip, but I had to take a cab home because it was so heavy. I need to put this down. It's too heavy and awkward. You may or may not be familiar with jackfruit. I'm familiar with it only because the fruit, when it's unripe, is a very common meat substitute for vegans and vegetarians. But outside of kind of making fake shredded chicken with it, I really don't know much about it. So I thought that this would be a great opportunity for me and all of you to learn a little bit more about the fruit. Let's do it. I gotta bring this back to the kitchen. Okay. See you there. It was at this point that I realized I had made a terrible mistake. A jackfruit, you see, does everything in its power to stop you from cutting into it. Not only is the skin super thick and hard to get through, but it is full of sap. So much sap that I couldn't touch anything, and I learned after the fact that you need to use oil. I'm using this coconut butter to help ease the cutting. Second thing I learned is that getting the jackfruit out is a nearly impossible task. I have sped this footage up by 5,000%, and this is just 1/4 of a half. I broke down this entire fruit. It took me like 3 hours. 3 hours to get these pieces of ripe jackfruit, when some of the jackfruit that I need is unripened, so that's a story for another day. I did it, and now let's begin the video.
Hi, my name is Medina and I'm from Bangladesh. The jackfruit dish I want to share from my country is called Kathaler bichir bharta, which means mashed jackfruit seeds. The dish is made by using seeds of ripe jackfruit. Normally, the seeds are pan-fried and then mashed with spices, herbs, and sometimes cooked fish. It's a savory dish, normally eaten with white rice or as a side with other main dishes. Its savoriness is kind of interesting because it comes from the sweetness of the seeds and the spiciness from the spices mixed in the mash. Jackfruit is the national fruit of Bangladesh. Therefore, most dishes prepared from jackfruit are actually very popular as people find it very interesting, and there are various ways to get creative with it. Bharta, which means mash. Mashes are very popular in the country. Mashes are like the staple food in Bangladesh. Another interesting fact, jackfruits are very accessible around the country. You can find it in almost everyone's homes. I love this dish because it's very healthy, it's very simple, it's made with our national fruit, and especially because it's a family favorite. This dish reminds me of my big brother because he's usually busy and I don't get to have meals with him. So whenever he's visiting my parents' home and we get together, my parents always prepare this dish because it's one of his favorites. Everyone should try Kathaler bichir bharta because it's so simple. Most importantly, people should try because এটা অনেক মজা. Moja means delicious.
Okay. We are starting with mashed jackfruit seeds. And before we get too far into this, I do want to say that the first time I made this, I messed up a little bit because when I tasted it, I nearly choked. It turns out that the jackfruit seeds have this very hard but clear shell on them. So when I remade them, I took off that shell. The first time I was being really dangerous using this knife. Then I realized if you kind of smashed them, the shell came off more easily. That's just to say, I did have to go and redo it a little bit. And I'm having this with rice. This is so surprising and delicious and spicy. These are the seeds. I love the idea of cooking with the whole fruit or vegetable. It tastes kind of nutty. Like, I mean, I know it's a seed, but it doesn't taste like a nut that I know about. The flavor of mustard seed oil is really coming through. And I do want to say this one thing about mustard seed oil that might be interesting. You may notice here on the mustard seed box, it says for external use only. And that might be like, oh, Beryl, don't eat that. It's only for your skin or something. That's not true. They put that on the label because of some weird food rules that we have in the US and in Europe. I'm leaving an article that talks all about this in the description, so you can check that out and see for yourself that it's very much okay to cook and eat mustard seed oil. It is such a beautiful flavor, and if you're somebody like me who likes to have oils and vinegars, that is one that I definitely recommend you add to your repertoire. This is one of those dishes that never in a million years would I have ever even come across on my own. I'm so happy I did. Definitely going to be making it again. Plus I have more seeds.
Hi guys, my name is Giovanna, and today I'll be introducing you guys the coxinha de jaca, that is translated to jackfruit coxinha. It's a popular treat here in Brazil. It's a very common street food, and it's a deep fried dough filled with jackfruit, but usually it's actually made with chicken. So this is the vegetarian slash vegan version of it, and I have one here with me. It's this one. It's this beauty. Look at this beauty. It's amazing. I love it. Even though I'm not vegetarian, this is one of my favorite version of coxinha. It's like the perfect comfort food. Many people haven't ate it. Some people actually think it's going to taste sweet. It's not sweet. Not at all. It tastes like chicken. For real. Brazil has a lot of different cultures, and I feel this one gets everyone because everyone enjoys it. I feel like a kid every time I eat it. It's kind of nostalgic. Enjoy your coxinha! Looks like chicken, but it's jackfruit. I love how creative people can be with food.
I'm not sure if I did this right. Okay, here's why I'm not sure. So I cut it because I don't know if like the dough is cooked the whole way through. You know, when I fried it, it was brown. But the other thing is like the dough doesn't have anything in it that makes it unhealthy to eat if it's raw. So I'm not like so concerned, but I'm also not feeling terribly confident with my deep frying skills, which you would have thought that by now I would be a little bit better at it. But I don't think I am. Okay, jackfruit croquette from Brazil. Hot, oh my God. All right, is this dough cooked? It tastes good, hot. It tastes very tomatoey, and I really like it. The stuffing is good. It's so good. Oh my gosh. Even if this dough isn't cooked the whole way, I like it. It's like kind of soft and chewy. Kind of feels like potato-y almost. Have you ever made dough in a hot pan like that? I've never done anything like that. It was so soft. The dough felt like a silky blanket. I like this. The jackfruit mixture was so delicious, and it would be so good like on a pizza. Oh yeah, that would be really good. Oh, I ate the whole thing actually. I didn't even realize I was like so busy thinking about the dough and chit-chatting. I ate all of it. Well, obviously I liked it. As somebody who's never tried it with chicken, I would still say the jackfruit one, I didn't miss the chicken.
Hello, my name is Faza and I live in Selangor, Malaysia. So the jackfruit dish that I would like to share with you all today is called mandai goreng. This dish actually originates from the Banja ethnic group from Indonesia, and it is considered a traditional food by the generations of Banja people that currently reside in Malaysia. In Bahasa Banja, mandai means the inner layer of the jackfruit skin that is fermented, whereas goreng means fried. To make mandai goreng, you firstly need to make the mandai, which is the inner layer of the jackfruit skin that is then fermented for at least a few days. It is then stir-fried alongside shallots or onions, garlic, chili, and dried anchovies. It's almost similar to your basic vegetable stir-fry, but there is no sauce, and it is much crispier. This dish is the perfect combination of spicy and salty. The skin might look spiny and even hard, but when it is prepared properly and it is fermented enough, it becomes soft and easy to chew when cooked. Malaysians really just enjoy spicy and salty food in general. However, most people actually do not know about this dish, mainly because it is usually exclusively made by the Banjar people. It is part of our history and one of the many examples of how we would not waste any part of our food as a form of survival. It is also a great entry point to Banjar cuisine, which I personally think that many people are missing out on. So that is all from me. I hope you like this dish a lot, Beryl. Thank you!
I don't think I made this right. I do not think that this is correct at all. And that's okay, kind of. The first reason is that Faza sent me a video showing me how to ferment the jackfruit skin. As you can see, the jackfruit in this video does not look like my jackfruit did. So that was issue number one. Issue number two is like, when I took it out, it was still like really hard. In the cooking video that Faza sent me, it just looks totally different. So that's why I don't think this is correct. All right, I'm just gonna try this concoction. Here's the skin. It's very tough and very salty. The anchovies are good. This doesn't taste bad, but it also doesn't taste great. And I'm honestly just gonna chalk it up to the fact that like you can't win them all. You can't. There's bound to be times where I'm gonna royally mess up, and I kind of feel like this is one of those times. I will also say, I definitely fermented this skin. First of all, when I opened it, there was like bubbles. You could smell that fermentation was happening. And the process of using salt to ferment is something that I've done before with lemons. So I don't feel like I did it wrong. I just think I used the wrong skin somehow. I don't know. I messed up. I'm sorry. Wah, wah. Okay, next dish.
Hi Beryl and hello universe. My name is Nyla and I live in Vancouver, Canada. The jackfruit recipe that I wanted to share with you all today is called Gatar ke Tarkari in Fiji Hindi. In English it is called jackfruit curry. Fiji is warm and humid. It is below Hawaii and above New Zealand in the Pacific Ocean. Fiji is surrounded by beautiful turquoise waters, and you will find an abundance of plants, flowers, fruits, and vegetables everywhere you go. Jackfruit curry reflects the flavors of Fiji because it shows the mixture of different cultures and recipes that were brought to Fiji. Fijian cuisine is made up of Indian, Chinese, and indigenous Fijian recipes. Fiji is a land of abundance. This dish is typical of Fijian cuisine. The ingredients of Katar Tarkari are special because they incorporate natural foods found in Fiji and spices which were brought by the indentured laborers. It contains mustard seeds, turmeric, garam masala, chilies, and lots of other spices. It is savory, really salty, nutty, and it has a slight sweetness to it because of the jackfruit's natural sweetness. It is part of a complete meal and it is often eaten with starch, such as rice or roti, a flatbread. I think that most Fijian people know about katur kedarkari. It is something that everyone enjoys, and it really represents the diversity found in Fiji. I like this dish because it is extremely filling and savory and comforting. I often associate it with wonderful memories during my childhood, and I often associate it with spending time with my mom and grandmother.
Okay, this is a green jackfruit curry from Fiji. Of course, I couldn't use any of the jackfruit that I cut up for this. That's okay. I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. This has curry leaves, which are my favorite. It is so good. The roti that I'm having with this, my mother-in-law actually sent it back from India with my husband. We have been very sparingly eating it, but I decided that this dish needed it. Yeah. Curry leaf? I understand that curry leaves can be really hard to come across, and so I don't think that you should write off a dish just because you can't access them, especially this one. And when it comes to the spices, like, you know, if you're not willing to start and buy all the spices, which can be really expensive, and I get that, I would just go with Kitchen King. It's not gonna give you the exact same flavor, but it'll definitely get you more than not trying it. Yeah, jackfruit just kind of like tastes like whatever you want it to taste like. The other thing that's interesting is that I feel like green jackfruit has become more and more popular, and so you can easily buy it canned or frozen at tons of different stores. So you don't have to buy, you know, a huge one like I did. This is honestly absolutely delicious. It was so easy to make as well. Gosh, I just love it when you guys give me dishes that are easy to make.
Hi, my name is Caroline.
I'm Alma.
And we're from Fairfield, California. The dish we want to talk to you about is Turon.
It's almost like an egg roll, but sweet and caramelized, so it's a dessert dish. And the inside has saba bananas, but we can't find that here, so
We just use plantains. Yeah.
And then sugar and jackfruit, and you just roll it up in almost like an egg roll, and the outside is caramelized and nice and crunchy.
Yeah, oh, it's so good.
Yeah. You don't eat it with a dip, or I never have. And we eat it typically with our hands. They serve it in the streets in the Philippines, or a lot of people have it in parties at home.
Turon is definitely a staple in the Philippines. Most Filipinos love sweet snacks. And so it's like the perfect combination of sugary sweet with local ingredients. I love Turon because it's addicting. The jackfruit, the saba, the sugar, and just encased in this lumpia makes the perfect like merienda or snack.
Yeah, and it's so nostalgic, I think.
It is.
It reminds me of gatherings with family and friends, and just that good feeling. Like you just look over where all the food is set up, and then there's always that like tray
Of turon. Yeah,
and you're always like,
parties.
all right, it's time for dessert.
Yeah, it's easy to make and it's delicious. Like, what else can you ask for?
Okay, I'm trying to also go right now with like a little bit of like a spooky vibe because of Halloween. Anyway, very excited because I finally got to use the ripe jackfruit that I cut up. And also watching Alma and Caroline talk about this and eat it. Hear that? That's gonna be crunchy. This is gonna be loud. Huh. Well, that wasn't graceful. Jackfruit on its own honestly tastes kind of like a mango and a banana had a baby. Whoa. Who came up with this idea? I want to know. They're like, let's take some fruit, healthy, cover it in sugar, roll it in paper and deep fry it now. I like the way they think. This one kind of looks like a little more caramelized. Ha! One day I'm gonna learn my lesson, but I don't think that day's today. Ha! I just want to say to everybody, like, eating on camera is humbling and it's terrible. Because, like, when you're eating in front of other people in a restaurant, people aren't just, like, focused on watching you take your bites. Right now, you guys are just watching me eat. I can't look cool eating something so hot. When I first started rolling these, I really didn't know how to do it. But then I read the instructions. Delicious. Absolutely love them. 10 out of 10 would recommend to family and friends. Except that, like, it's hard to eat. It's hard to eat nicely.
Hello everyone. My name is Anjana. I live in Mumbai city of India and my native place is Kerala in India. Jackfruit is the state fruit of Kerala. So the dish that I wish to share with you all today is called Chakke Pradhaman. This dish is indigenous to the state of Kerala and is called so in Malayalam, the native language of Kerala. Chakke in English means jackfruit and Pradhaman in English means pudding. So in English this dish is called jackfruit pudding. This dish gets its sweetness and color from the use of jaggery. It has little chunks of jackfruit and is topped with loads of dry fruits, especially cashews and ghee roasted coconut pieces. This dish reflects the flavors of Kerala in a wholesome manner. All the ingredients used in this dish are cultivated in the households and villages of Kerala. So whenever you take a drive through the roads of Kerala, you can definitely see trees of jackfruit and coconut. The flavors of Kerala are definitely different from the different parts of the country. Kerala is a coastal state of India and the flavors here are different. I believe even most people of India wouldn't be aware of this Chakke Pradhaman dish. Jackfruit is my mom's favorite fruit. And as a kid, I didn't used to like this fruit whenever it was brought home because of its strong smell and typical taste. But my mom has pursued me into liking it. So whenever my mom makes this dish, it reminds me of my family members and it traces me back to the memories of my native place Kerala, of all the celebrations and the sadhya meals that I have had.
Okay, my last dish is a Indian jackfruit pudding. It smells so good. This is my first time finally cooking with jaggery and I'm very excited. I love the color. It's just this beautiful, like, toffee brown. Whoa. Whoa. It's like malty kind of. Malty? Is that like a just like the sweetness has like a really nice bitterness to it as well. It's not just super sweet. It kind of reminds me of like maybe of like a fruit cake as a pudding. I'm not really tasting jackfruit. Or am I? Oh. I am tasting jackfruit. In general, I find Indian desserts to be very, very sweet, and this one is very sweet, but the jaggery sweetness is different. I think for me, it is still like a bit on the sweet side, so I couldn't eat like a big bowl of it, but it's really lovely, and a great way to use my fresh jackfruit. 2 recipes that called for it in this whole episode. I mean, I did use the seeds and I did use the skin, but whoops. Anyway, we have fun. I think this episode was amazing. I'm so sorry about my fail, Faza. I hope you can forgive me. Oh, I'm still thinking about it. I feel like we should do another fruit. I don't know, tell me which one we should do. I enjoyed this one, maybe one that's a little easier to cut up, please. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in my next episode.